Hey guys, what's up? This is CG Stuff. Quick update: the stuff that we talked about before, an action library, uh, annotations. I separate the comments from annotations, ghosting tools, hold, hiding annotations are all currently available. It's an update 1.4. You can download them right now. However, I'm here in this video to talk about a small preview of my new tool, Universal Library. Okay, so I'm going to showcase a bit this new tool called the Action Library, Universal Library. And what it does basically, it's basically a universal asset library. So I'm just going to showcase a few examples. So over here I have Blender, and I'm just going to keep these for now. Over here I have a cube, all right? Nothing special. So I'm just going to go here, and I'm going to export my cube to the asset library, all right? So over here, if I refresh, I have a cube, nothing special, cool. And now if I go back to Blender, and if I open a new file, all right, if I delete everything, I can click on my cube and I can append it into Blender, all right? Again, nothing special, cool. Here's the thing, where this gets really special, if I open a new general file, all right, delete everything, I'm going to put this cube. However, I'm not going to append it because over here I have several import methods. I'm going to make it as an instance. You can link it, you can put it as an instance collection, and then you can import it into Blender, all right? Now, if I go back to Blender, you can see that this is an instance collection, all right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this cube over here aside, and I'm gonna save this file, all right? All right, cool. So this file has been saved, so I'm just gonna go click new, delete everything. Now the idea is that imagine you're working on a scene, you're working on a cinematic, you're working on a video game, doesn't really matter. The point is that cube right now is version 1, all right? So let's say I want to continue editing this cube. So I'm gonna go back, I'm going to append this cube into a new file, and I'm gonna import into Blender. Awesome. So right now this cube is a cube, awesome. But what if I want it to be a table? What if I want it to be a cannon? It doesn't matter, I want it to be a prop, all right? So I'm gonna click here, I'm gonna make it a table for now. I'm just gonna come here, do like some fast modeling. All right, great. So now we have a table. So what does that mean? Now I can go back to the asset library add-on, and I'm going to export as a new version. It already detected that this is cube, all right? But it's version 1. Okay, so now I'm going to click OK, go back to my asset library, I'm going to click refresh. Notice that now it's cube version 2, even though technically, obviously, it's stable. What does that mean? Remember that scene that we basically linked to the cube? Here's the thing. I linked version 1, but now it's version 2. Now, is it really still the cube or the table? Well, no, it's current, because here's the thing. If I go back to delete test, you can see that now it's a table. It's not linking to the current version 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter. It's linking to the current version, which means that now you can update this cube however you want. You can make it a rocket, you can make it a sword, you can make it a tank, you can make it a table, you can make it a very fancy table, and it will still up to version 10, and it will still be in this scene untouched. So you can populate your scene, you can set dress it, you can do whatever you want with it, and the asset will be the same. Well, it will be current, is what I'm saying. So if I go back to this, if I can continue working on it, and here's the thing. When you want to edit your scene currently right now, and again, this is all work in progress, just showing you this. If I import to Blender and a new file, I want to keep doing this. I want to like make this like a more fancy table. I want to like add some bevels, you know what I mean? And again, we have a more fancy table. So I'm just going back to the plugin. I'm gonna export as again, this is 2. I'm gonna do version 3, and then I'm gonna go back to my add-on, sorry, my application, and look, this is version 3 right now. So in Blender, I'm just gonna go to my test scene, and again, look, it updated. This is pretty much what's happening right now. And the cool thing right now, if you go to view lineage, again, like remember, if you remember an action library, you have like a lineage system. So if we look at the lineage system, we have the old version, which is basically cube 1, cube 2, cube 3, and the latest version. Now we have something even cooler. So if you go back to, let's say, Blender, if I go back to new general, all right, so I'm going to delete everything. If I take this table, basically, if I import it to Blender as an append because I want to edit it, all right, so here's the thing. I can make a variant of this table. What does that mean? I'm going to do like some more edits. I'm going to do this, do that, whatever, doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to, just put some materials on it. All right, cool. So right now, I am going to, let's say, make this something like that, doesn't matter. And then in shot library, and sorry, in the asset library, I'm going to export. However, I'm going to say new variant. What does that mean? It means that I'm going to deviate from the current path, from the linear path. I'm going to just say table underscore var, all right? And I'm going to just call it here table, all right? So right now, I'm just going to click OK. I'm going to go back to over here. So now we have the variant table, which is, it tells you it's a variant, and the cube. Now, if we go back to lineage, you can see that right now, the path is basically cube, table 2, table 3, and then table variant. However, it descended from version 3. So if you look at the branch points, you can see that it's table 3, version 3, and under it, you have table variant. You see? This is the idea basically behind this, that you can create a table or an asset basically, and you have versions, and then from any version you can create a variant pretty much. And this variant is independent from the main asset. It's just telling you that this variant is from a specific version of an asset. And that's pretty much the general idea of this. You can not only do this with meshes, you can do this with rigs, with textures, with materials. Still a work in progress, but that's going to be the general idea, that this is going to be, that's why it's called the Universal Asset Library, because you can do so much cool stuff with this, and it's going to be really cool. So yeah, I just hope you guys enjoyed this demo, and more updates on the way. Bye.